William Henry Gates III, known as Bill Gates, is an American business magnate, software developer, investor, author, and philanthropist. He is a co-founder of Microsoft Corporation.
Hi. This is It's Billionaire Story. Welcome back to my channel. Please do like, comment, share, and subscribe. Everyone know Bill Gates is the founder of Microsoft. The fourth richest man on earth, Bill Gates is worth roughly $133 billion as of January 13, 2021. He earned the bulk of his fortune as CEO, chairman, and chief software architect at Microsoft. Where does Bill Gates keep his money? What do you do with your money when you're one of the richest people on the planet? Bill Gates is worth roughly $133 billion as of January 13, 2021. He earned the bulk of his fortune as CEO, chairman, and chief software architect at Microsoft, MSFT. Gates stepped down as chairman in 2014, but still owns 1.34% of the company he co-founded. Here is where this billionaire stashes some of his money. Investments in corporations. In March 2020, Gates waived his wages and stock compensation when he ended his board service effective on March 13, 2021. The majority of his financial assets are held by Cascade Investment LLC, an entity controlled by Gates to manage his investments. Although Cascade is not a public company, some of its investment activity must be disclosed to the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC. The company's portfolio is well diversified. Cascade at one time held 9.8% of Strategic Hotels and Resorts, which was later sold to Blackstone Group, then Adbang Insurance Group, and then Mari Asset Management. Cascade also has purchased Four Seasons hotels in Mexico, Atlanta, and Houston. Gates holds equity in Branded Entertainment Network, a brand integration and advertising company. He is chairman of TerraPower, a nuclear reactor design company. He has Bag ResearchGate, a social networking site for researchers and scientists. Through Gates Ventures, his private office, he funds initiatives in clean energy, education, healthcare, and poverty alleviation. Real estate. His investment portfolio is certainly significant, but Bill Gates also puts his money to use buying real assets, including a sprawling estate and a private island. Gates' Seattle area home, Xanadu 2.0, is an oceanside lodge boasting over 66,000 square feet with approximately 500 feet of private waterfront on Lake Washington. The estate features top-of-the-line technology and gadgets befitting its 6 kitchens, bathrooms, and 6 fireplaces. Nearly every amenity is computer-controlled, including automatic lights and music that follow you from room to room. In 2019, the property was assessed $1.04 million in taxes, implying an assessed value of $131.14 million at a 0.793% property tax rate. In 2013, Gates began amassing property in Wellington, Florida, considered to be the winter equestrian capital of the world. He started by snapping up a 4-bedroom mansion and horse ranch for $8.7 million. In 2016, he bought the adjoining parcels, bringing 5 properties together for a total of $35.87 million. He spent another $21 million on a horse farm in 2019, bringing his combined purchases to $59 million for a 30-acre assemblage. His daughter, Jennifer Gates, is an award-winning equestrian. Gates is also rumored to own Grand Bouquet, a 314-acre island off the coast of Belize in Central America, the largest island in that country. Grand Bouquet is home to pristine beaches, abundant marine life, and excellent diving. It is reported that Gates purchased the island for upwards of $25 million. Planes and automobiles. Bill Gates is a man who likes to get around. As of 2018, he appeared to own not one, but two Bombardier BD700 Global Express jets through Challenger Administration LLC, along with the Cessna 208.22. Michael Larson, who runs Cascade Investment, is listed as an officer at Challenger. 423 Bombardier jets are ultra-long-range corporate sky horses with a range of 6,700 nautical miles at 0.8 Mach, and likely cost $45 million apiece. In addition, through his membership in NetJets, Gates has owned a fractional share of at least one NetJets plane. He also likes a fancy set of wheels and has been a longtime fan of Porsche automobiles. Gates bought a Porsche 911 in 1979 and later added a Porsche 930 Turbo and rare Porsche 959. His most recent purchase is the fully electric Porsche Taycan, an acquisition that set off a Twitter spat with Tesla CEO Elon Musk. The Porsche 959 is very rare. They were plagued with problems, 28 and only 337 or so were ever made. Gates is also said to own a Jaguar XJ6 and a Ferrari 348.30. His first Porsche was sold at auction for $80,000. At the time, he told reporters, "I drive myself around town in a normal Mercedes." He also tooled around town in a nice minivan with the family. Collectibles. While it's certainly an achievement to own one-of-a-kind real estate and rare cars, it is another to own precious, irreplaceable collectibles, and Bill Gates certainly has accumulated quite the collection. In 1994, he purchased a celebrated Leonardo da Vinci manuscript at auction for $30.8 million. Known as the Codex Leicester, this work documents many of da Vinci's scientific discoveries and observations. Gates once remarked in a speech at the British Library on his purchase, "Yeah, I feel very lucky that I own a notebook. In fact, I remember going home one night and telling my wife Melinda that I was going to buy a notebook. She didn't think that was a very big deal. I said, no, this is a pretty special notebook. This is the Codex Leicester, one of the notebooks of Leonardo da Vinci." He also acquired Andrew Wyatt's Distant Thunder for $7 million in 1996. William Merritt chases the nursery for $10 million in 1997. Frederick Childe Haslam's work, Room of Flowers for $20 million in 1998. Winslow Homer's Lost on the Grand Banks for $36 million in 1998. And George Bellows' Polo Crowd for $28 million in 1999. Philanthropic endeavors funding worthy causes are atop Bill Gates' list of achievements. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation is the largest charitable foundation in the U.S. The foundation held $49.9 billion in assets in 2019, the most recent figures as of Q1 2021, and the total grant payments since the foundation's inception is $54.8 billion. Between 1994 and 2018, Bill and Melinda Gates have given more than $36 billion to the foundation. In 2019, Gates and his wife gave $519 million to the foundation, and he has also encouraged fellow billionaires to donate large sums to charitable causes through the Giving Pledge. The world's fourth richest person and Microsoft Corporation founder Bill Gates have invested billions of dollars in stocks to support his charitable activities through Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation Trust, the world's largest private charitable foundation. Last year, Gates announced retirement from the Microsoft board to devote his time to charitable activities related to health, climate change, and education. The foundation stock portfolio is valued at around $22 billion and it's a tax-free entity. The portfolio has been managed by the team analysts led by portfolio manager Michael Larson. Gates Foundation doesn't invest money in risky high-growth stocks. Instead, the foundation's portfolio manager invests money in companies that have a well-established business model, with a strong track record of returning steady returns to investors. With his wife, Melinda, Bill Gates chairs the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, the private charitable foundation. In May 2020, the Gates Foundation said it would spend $300 million to fight the coronavirus pandemic, funding treatment, detection and vaccines. Gates has sold or given away much of his stake in Microsoft. He owns just over 1% of shares and invested in a mix of stocks and other assets. In mid-March 2020, Gates stepped down as a board member of Microsoft, the software firm he founded with Paul Allen, d. 2018, in 1975. The foundation works to improve global health and to create equal opportunity for people around the globe. To date, Gates has donated $35.8 billion worth of Microsoft stock to the Gates Foundation. Money has no utility to me beyond a certain point. Its utility is entirely in building an organization and getting the resources out to the poorest in the world. According to the Bloomberg Billionaires Index, Gates was the world's highest-earning billionaire in 2013, as his net worth increased by $15.8 billion to $78.5 billion. As of January 2014, most of Gates's assets are held in Cascade Investment LLC, an entity through which he owns stakes in numerous businesses, including Four Seasons Hotels and Resorts, and Corbis Corp. On February 4, 2014, Gates stepped down as chairman of Microsoft to become technology advisor at the firm, alongside CEO Satya Nadella. Gates provided his perspective on a range of issues in a substantial interview that was published in the March 27, 2014 issue of Rolling Stone magazine. In the interview, Gates provided his perspective on climate change, his charitable activities, various tech companies and people involved in them, and the state of America. In response to a question about his greatest fear when he looks 50 years into the future, Gates stated there'll be some really bad things that'll happen in the next 50 or 100 years, but hopefully none of them on the scale of, say, 1 million people that you didn't expect to die from a pandemic, or nuclear, or bioterrorism. Gates also identified innovation as the real driver of progress, and pronounced that America's way better today than it's ever been. Gates has expressed concern about the potential harms of superintelligence. In a Reddit Ask Me Anything, he stated that, first, the machines will do a lot of jobs for us and not be super intelligent. That should be positive if we manage it well. A few decades after that, though, the intelligence is strong enough to be a concern. He stated that it was within their skill set of being the dominant player, but partially blames the antitrust litigation during the time. That same year, Gates became an advisory board member of the Bloomberg New Economy Forum. On March 13, 2020, Microsoft announced Gates would be leaving his board positions at Berkshire Hathaway and Microsoft to dedicate his efforts in philanthropic endeavors, such as climate change, global. As of February 2021, Gates expressed that he and Anthony Fauci frequently talk and collaborate on matters including vaccines and other medical innovations to fight the pandemic.
Thank you for watching and listening. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button for you to be updated on my next upload.